Dawn crawls over the tree line like a wounded animal, bleeding pale gold light into a forest still drowning in fog. The air is cold, sharp, and quiet in a way that feels wrong. Too quiet. No insects, no wind, no distant rumble of trucks or chatter from base. Just the hush of pine needles and the faint crackle of radio static still trapped inside Archer's vest. He stands on the rooftop of the outpost, breath misting in front of him, staring at the tree line as if it might blink back. His fingers drum anxiously against his rifle. Not nervous, not fearful, just alert. Archer isn't the kind of man who cracks under pressure, but this morning presses against him in a way he can't describe. Behind him, boots clatter against metal. Graves pushes the rooftop door open, stepping into the cold with a scowl carved into his face. "You're up early?" Graves mutters, tugging a glove onto stiff fingers. Archer doesn't look back. "Didn't sleep? Because of what happened last night?" Archer's jaw tightens. He doesn't answer. The forest stares back, silent and endless. "What you saw wasn't real," Graves says, trying to sound casual. "Fog plays tricks. Light bounces weird between the trees." Archer turns finally, leveling a flat look at him. "I know what I saw." Graves sighs, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "And I'm telling you it wasn't." Archer cuts him off. "There were 4 of them, uniformed, moving quiet, too quiet. Operators move quiet, not that quiet, and they weren't talking, not even to each other." Graves hesitates for half a second. Archer catches it. "There's something you're not telling me," Archer says. Graves doesn't reply. Not immediately. The door creaks again. Nora Carter slips out, tightening her bun, rifle slung casually over her shoulder. Her eyes land on Archer, and she frowns at the tension between him and Graves. "What's going on?" she asks. "Archer's spooked," Graves says lightly. Nora frowns deeper. "Archer doesn't spook." Archer turns back to the forest. "That's what I told him." A low rumble rolls across the sky, distant thunder or perhaps something else. Archer's hands tighten around his rifle. Graves looks up, expression shifting. "Storm?" Nora asks. "No," Archer murmurs. "Not a storm." Because the rumble isn't fading, it's growing. Graves steps to the railing, scanning the sky. Nora moves beside Archer, her voice low. "Talk to me." Archer doesn't sugarcoat. "Last night I saw unnatural movement, people with blank expressions, no breathing, no recoil when hit, and when I fired..." Graves spins. "You what?" "I didn't hit them," Archer says. "They moved before the bullet reached." Nora studies him closely. Archer doesn't lie. Archer doesn't exaggerate. If he says something moved before being hit, it did. Graves pinches the bridge of his nose, cursing under his breath. "You shouldn't have fired." "You told me to report anomalies," Archer fires back. "So I did." Graves looks away, jaw tight. The rumble in the sky sharpens, splitting into twin vibrations, like rotor blades, but not quite. Too smooth, too even, too quiet for a helicopter. Nora stiffens. "That's not one of ours." Archer lifts his rifle. "It's coming from the east ridge." Graves raises a hand. "Hold positions. Don't engage. I'll get eyes from inside. He moves toward the door, then stops, because the rooftop hums beneath their boots, a vibration, subtle but unmistakable. Archer swings his rifle down toward the forest. "Incoming." Nora follows suit. The tree line shifts, fog compressing inward, trees shivering as if something massive passes between them. A wave of cold sweeps across the rooftop, and then silence. A silence so complete it crushes the air from their lungs. Graves whispers, "Not again." Archer hears it. "What do you mean again?" Graves doesn't answer. Not a word. A piercing white flash detonates in the forest. Archer shields his eyes. Nora drops to a knee. Graves curses and stumbles back. The forest explodes with light, brighter than a flashbang, too clean, too perfectly spherical. Then black silence. Absolute. The birds don't return. The fog doesn't shift, even the air feels paused. Archer lowers his hand, blinking through the afterimage. "That wasn't a flashbang." "No," Nora agrees, eyes narrowing. "It wasn't." Graves backs toward the door. "We need to get inside." Archer blocks him with one arm. "Not until you tell us what you know." Graves swallows. "Hard. There's a reason we were stationed here, and a reason I didn't want you firing into that forest." Nora steps closer. "Graves, talk." Before he can answer, a voice crackles over the rooftop radio, distorted, scrambled, buried under static. "Unit, breach, unauthorized contact, repeat contact." Archer snatches the radio. "Say again?" Static swallows the voice. Nora glances at the tree line. "We need to check the perimeter." Archer nods. "We go together." Graves grabs Archer's wrist. No, you don't leave the outpost. That's an order. Archer stares at him, unblinking. Why? Graves looks like someone who's been holding onto a secret too long, and it's finally crushing him. Because they're not supposed to be active yet, he says. Who? Nora presses. Active how? Graves steps back, breathing fast. Just stay inside, both of you. He turns, takes one step toward the door, does not reach it. A whisper cuts through the fog behind them. Graves. Archer whirls, rifle raised, but the fog is too thick, too still. Nora's voice drops to a razor's edge. Archer, someone's in the outpost. The whisper comes again. Same voice, same tone. Graves. This time it echoes from the stairwell below. Graves pales. Archer moves toward the door slowly, rifle sight fixed on the darkness inside. Nora covers his flank. The stairwell light flickers, the whisper drifts out a third time, but not like a person speaking, more like a recording played back through cracked speakers. Griffs! Archer edges down one step, then freezes. A silhouette stands at the bottom of the stairwell, too still to be human. No rise of breath, no shift of weight, just a tall, unmoving shape with shoulders squared and a faint blue glow pulsing at the temple. Archer exhales. It's one of them. The silhouette steps forward, not walking, gliding. Archer fires. The flash illuminates the stairwell, revealing a blank-eyed face and a dead expression. The figure takes the bullet. Doesn't flinch, doesn't bleed, doesn't stop. Nora fires next, 2 controlled shots to the head. Sparks spit from the temple implant. The figure collapses, silence returns. Archer steps down slowly, eyes locked on the body. Nora follows. Graves stays frozen at the top of the stairs, wide-eyed, shaking. Nora kneels beside the fallen figure. It's human. No, Archer murmurs. It's not. He pushes aside the collar of the uniform. Synthetic tendons run along the neck. Thin black wires weave through muscle tissue like veins. Graves finally speaks. They weren't supposed to deploy them yet. They weren't finished. Archer rises. Who weren't finished? Graves opens his mouth. The outpost power grid dies. Lights snap off. The hallway plunges into darkness. The radio erupts with static, violent, screaming static. And then, a single voice cuts through. Not human. Not digital. Something in between. Graves, return. Nora steps back. What the hell do they want with you? Archer flicks his safety back on. Graves, start talking. Graves trembles, sweat running down his neck. I was part of the program, he whispers, the prototype phase. Archer's jaw clenches. What program? Before Graves can answer, footsteps echo upstairs. Slow, heavy, mechanical. Nora raises her rifle. Archer moves in front of her. The footsteps stop at the top of the stairs. A shape appears, larger than the previous one, shoulders broader, eyes darker, implants glowing brighter. Graves stops breathing. He whispers one word, Alpha. Archer steadies his rifle. What does it want? Graves whispers, broken me. The machine steps forward. The stairwell shakes. Nora fires. Archer fires. The bullets hit. Metal sparks burst, but the machine keeps coming, not stopping, not slowing, not reacting. Archer grabs Graves by the collar. Move! Nora covers their retreat as they sprint down the hall. The machine's footsteps thunder behind them. They reach the equipment room. Archer slams the door shut and bars it. The metal frame vibrates under impact. Bang! 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 Nora reloads. How long until it breaks through? Archer answers without looking back. Not long. Graves sinks against a crate, shaking violently. I didn't think they'd send Alpha. They were supposed to keep it contained. Archer steps toward him, voice low and lethal. Explain. Now. Graves looks up at him, eyes wild, desperate, drowning. And then, he says the words that change everything. They're not soldiers. They're retrieval units, sent to collect me because I designed them. The equipment room vibrates like a living thing. Each impact from the creature outside sends a jolt through the walls, dust falling in soft clouds from the rafters. Archer braces a shoulder beneath the metal support beam, muscles tight, breath sharp. Nora moves beside him, loading another magazine with clean, practiced motions. Her fingers are steady, but her eyes betray the pressure building inside her. They all feel it, the weight of something unstoppable beating against the thin sheet of metal that dares to call itself a door. Graves sits on a crate, hands over his face, whispering words Archer can't hear. Not prayers, not apologies. Something else, something technical, something guilty. Nora snaps her rifle shut. You better start explaining, Graves, because we're running out of door. Thud. The beam above them groans. Graves lifts his head, throat moving as he swallows. They weren't meant for field use, not yet. Alpha was a test bed model, part synthetic, part mechanical, part something else. Archer stiffens. Something else? Graves nods. Nora narrows her gaze. You're saying it's not just cybernetic, it's biological. Yes, Graves breathes. A hybrid prototype built to adapt on the move. Track, predict, recover assets. Archer points at the door. Recover you. Graves shuts his eyes. I was the project lead. I disappeared before the final sync tests. The impacts stop. Silence clamps down. Archer whispers, get ready. Something breathes on the other side of the door. Soft, controlled, deliberate. A machine doesn't breathe like that. A human doesn't breathe like that either. Nora raises her rifle. Archer? He holds up a hand. Nothing moves, nothing scratches, nothing taps. Just that breathing, a low, almost curious inhale. Then, crack! A single blow folds the top half of the steel door inward like paper. Nora fires instinctively. The rounds shred the bent metal, but the thing is already inside. Alpha moves like a shadow injected with electricity, smooth, heavy, terrifying. Its shoulders scrape the doorframe. Its eyes burn with that cold blue pulse, syncing rhythmically with a deeper hum coming from its chest. Archer fires a burst. The bullets spark off the armored implants hidden beneath Alpha's flesh. The creature's head jerks but doesn't break. Nora yells, fall back! Archer kicks a crate aside, drawing Alpha's attention. The creature lunges forward with an inhuman speed, hands snapping out to grab him by the vest. Archer's boots drag across the floor. Alpha lifts him effortlessly. Nora screams his name and empties her rifle into its side. Sparks and fluid spray, but Alpha doesn't flinch. It tosses Archer across the room like he weighs nothing. He slams into a metal cabinet that collapses under the impact. Archer! He coughs, struggling up onto one elbow, vision fogging. Alpha turns toward Graves. Graves backs up until his spine hits the wall. No, stop, listen! The creature tilts its head, studying him with chilling precision. Something in its eyes shifts, recognition, compliance, or something pre-programmed. Alpha speaks. Not a human voice. Not a machine voice either. A blend of both. Dr. Graves, return! Graves breaks. I'm not going back. Alpha steps forward. Archer staggers to his feet. Nora, distract it! Nora fires again, this time aiming for the glowing implant. Alpha's head snaps sideways, synthetic tendons tearing. Its body spasms violently, as if the signal pathway is momentarily disrupted. Archer charges. He slams his shoulder into Alpha's back. The creature stumbles a single step, grip loosening from Graves' shirt. Move! Archer commands. Graves darts behind a row of shelves. Nora kicks a toolbox toward Archer, who grabs a steel pry bar and drives it into Alpha's exposed implant. A shower of sparks blinds the room. Alpha swings backward. The backhand hits Archer square in the ribs, sending him tumbling across the floor. Nora grabs Graves and drags him toward the back exit. Basement! Go! Archer coughs, ribs screaming. He forces himself up. Alpha recalibrates, stance shifting. The damaged implant flickers violently, its blue pulsing unstable. Archer grabs his rifle. Alpha charges. Archer fires, but Alpha doesn't dodge this time. It crashes into him full force. Both slam through a wooden workbench. Tools scatter across the floor. Archer grabs a wrench and slams it into Alpha's jaw, tearing synthetic skin and exposing metallic tendons. Nora screams from the hallway, Archer, move! Alpha grabs Archer by the throat. Its grip is crushing, cold, final. Archer claws at the hand, vision darkening. Then, bang, bang, bang. Nora fires from the doorway, shells flying, every shot controlled. One round hits the exposed implant perfectly. It cracks. Alpha spasms violently. Archer twists free, gasping. He grabs a metal pipe and swings it like a bat, smashing the cracked implant again. This time the strike drives the implant inward, deep. Alpha's entire body convulses, and then silence. Its eyes flicker, dim, dimmer, dead. The massive frame collapses to the floor. Archer leans forward, hands on knees, spitting blood. That was brute force, hybrid, military-grade insanity. Nora pulls him up. Save the commentary. We need to move before another one comes. Graves staggers out from behind the metal shelves. You killed Alpha. Archer wipes blood from his lip. Not killed, disabled. There's more. Nora glares at Graves, and every one of them knows exactly where you are. Graves shivers. We have to reach the lab. Archer narrows his eyes. What lab? The bunker beneath the comms station, Graves says. That's where they were built. It's shielded. They can't track me inside. It's the only place we stand a chance. Archer and Nora exchange a look. Archer nods. Then we move. Fast. They shoulder their gear and head for the emergency exit. Smoke from Alpha's ruined implant curls through the air, mixing with dust and the metallic scent of adrenaline. Archer glances back once. Alpha's dead eyes still flicker faintly, like something waiting to restart. He turns away the forest. They emerge into the cold morning fog. The forest seems even darker now, as if swallowing light. Nora moves on point, rifle raised. Archer covers their rear, watching for movement. Graves leads, hunched low, breath visible in the cold air. Archer whispers, "How many units were built?" Graves doesn't answer immediately. Nora growls, "Graves, now!" Graves whispers, "6." Archer stops walking. "6 like Alpha?" "No," Graves says quietly. "Alpha was the slow one." Archer exhales, slow and controlled. "Fantastic." Nora scans the tree line. "What else is out here?" Graves hesitates. Archer steps up beside him. "Whatever you say next needs to be the truth." Graves closes his eyes. "There's a drone-class hybrid, a quadruped hunter, a stealth recon unit, a field medic unit with autonomous control, and a fail-safe system." Archer stiffens. "Fail-safe?" "That's the problem," Graves whispers. "I don't know what the fail-safe looks like. It wasn't finished when I left." Nora mutters, "Great. Mystery monster included." The forest shifts. Not wind, not animals. Something else. Something moving with soft padded steps. Archer raises a fist. They freeze. A shadow crosses the fog 30 meters ahead, low, fast, silent. Nora whispers, "Quadruped?" Graves nods once. "Hunter class. It tracks by heartbeat vibrations." Archer whispers sharply, "So don't panic." Nora shoots him a look. "You're panicking." Archer shrugs, "On the inside." The shadow moves again, this time circling. Archer sees it, a sleek metallic frame crawling on 4 limbs, joints rotating with unnatural fluidity. 2 glowing slits on its head sweep the fog like scanning beams. It's hunting. Graves breathes, "We can't outrun it." Archer's voice drops to a cold, tactical whisper. "Good, we're not outrunning it." Nora frowns. "Then what?" Archer slides a fragmentation charge from his belt. "We're trapping it." He nods toward Graves. "Get behind the rocks. Don't move. Don't breathe too loud. Nora, with me." The quadruped stalks toward the clearing, posture low, predatory. It emits a low clicking, sonar scanning. Archer kneels beside a large cedar stump, planting the charge beneath the roots. Nora takes position 10 feet away, rifle ready. The creature's head swivels, it senses them. Archer whispers, "Wait, wait!" The quadruped lunges. Archer hits the trigger. The forest erupts. The stump explodes upward, roots, dirt, and shrapnel spraying in every direction. The quadruped is thrown sideways, slamming into a tree with a metallic howl. Nora fires. Her shots pierce the exposed shoulder joint. Sparks rip outward. The quadruped rises again, faster this time. Archer tackles Graves out of the way as the creature leaps over them, claws shredding the dirt where they stood. Nora empties another burst into its spine. Archer grabs a sharpened metal stake off the ground. The creature turns, and Archer drives the stake into its underbelly as hard as he can. The creature convulses, legs kicking wildly. Archer twists the stake deeper, ripping through synthetic muscle and piercing the internal battery core. Blue light floods its frame, then dies. The quadruped collapses into the leaves, twitching once before going still. Archer rolls off, gasping for air. Nora checks the remains. "Dead?" Archer coughs. "Deader than Alpha." Graves whispers, "Half the units are down. We can make it." Archer stands slowly, ribs aching, then move. They push deeper into the forest, toward the comm station, toward the bunker, toward answers. But as they arrive at the clearing, the building is gone, not destroyed, gone. The concrete foundation sits empty, dust still swirling where walls should exist, as if the entire structure was lifted clean off the earth. Nora's voice trembles. "What? What is this?" Graves falls to his knees, staring at the empty foundation like it's a grave. Archer scans the horizon. This wasn't removal. He kneels, touches the ground, dust falls through the cracks of his fingers, thin, white, and cold. He lifts it to his nose, smells it. Ash, synthetic ash. His eyes widen. This was a purge. Nora stiffens. A purge of what? Archer stands, the failsafe. The wind shifts, carrying a faint humming, low, steady, growing louder. Graves looks behind them and the color drains from his face. Nora follows his gaze. Her breath stops. Archer turns and sees it. A towering figure standing in the smoke, twice Alpha's height, frame armored in black synthetic plates, eyes burning with white, not blue. The failsafe? Graves whispers, "Oh God, it wasn't unfinished." The creature steps forward, voice vibrating the forest floor. "Dr. Graves, return." Archer chambers around. Nora lifts her rifle. Graves stumbles back. The failsafe raises an arm, a cannon built into its forearm glowing with deadly white charge. Archer shouts, "Get down!" A beam of white energy blasts through the clearing and everything fades to white.